fishers, it's a pretty dismal report this week, I've got to admit. Can't gloss it over too much, there's nothing exciting happening. Again, talking to my old mate Naso down Albury, he says there's a few fish coming out of Dart, but they're basically sardines. 500 grams seems to pull them up at the moment, which is disappointing. Forward fenders, worms, cowbells, worms, doesn't seem to matter a great deal. You'll pick them up without too much trouble, but they're only small and there's nothing exciting amongst them, and you've got to work hard to get 4 or 5 fish. Don't know what's caused that, but it's happening. Hume Weir, there's been some really big trout come out of it, a couple of 4s and 6 pounders this week, but there's a lot of people chasing them and very few people catching them, so that'll give you an indicator you're going to have to work darn hard. So it's like hitting this scenario out there. I would be very inclined to think that this is a bit of an indicator that we might get a bit of a run of good fish out of the Hume Weir at the end of this month, which is pretty close to it now, and also August. In years gone by, we've had that happen, and it's been pretty darn good, to be honest with you. Just cross our fingers on that one. Bit of activity below the Hume Weir. There's quite a few trout coming out of there. It looks really good. The water's clear. It doesn't close. No trout season closure there, and you can go and flick a few lures around, do a bit of fly fishing, and you should get some good quality trout. Some of them are up to 4, 5, 6 pound as well, so you know there's certainly good quality fish. Haven't got a decent report out of my whaler for weeks. I don't know whether it's fishing any good or not, but apparently not, otherwise we'd hear about it. I can tell you, fishermen tend to tell you when they catch fish. They don't tell you anything when they don't. The Murrumbidgee River here, very, very special. You're going to have to work pretty hard, but we are getting some nice cod out of it. Some of the cod that we're catching at the moment are well and truly 60, 70, 80 centimetre plus. There was a beautiful cod on Tuesday, caught in Old Man Creek. It was 1.7 metre. Yeah, you look at the picture, it's probably 60 pound plus. It's a very, very good fish. Caught out of a kayak and just bloke flicking spinnerbaits around. Excellent catch. There was a few other fish caught there as well. So a bit of an indicator. The river and the creek here are fishing extremely well for this time of year. Keep that in mind. Got to work for them, but you will catch fish. Blowering Dam, 75 pound was the biggest one this week off the bank with bait. Not a lot of fish I heard of, but that was one of the bigger ones, and a few small ones I've heard of as well. Nothing trolling though, or nothing that I've heard of trolling. So Blowering's certainly worth a go if you're going to go up and bait fish off the bank. Yukonburn, Jindabyne, Tantangro, still plenty of activity up there on bait. Talking to Bondi down the south coast, he says it's pretty dismal down there, to be honest with you. The offshore scene's very quiet, even around sort of the reef structures and stuff like that, not much activity at all. Beaches are still fishing really well. The estuaries, yeah, not too bad. Churros is the only real good one though. The rest you got to work pretty hard. Most of the flathead are in the holes. Little blade seem to be the best bet with a very slow retrieve. But as you can see, there's a bit of action around us, but it's not a great report this week, but we'll catch you next week.